done. God, she's got shit all over it now. I'm assuming we're not live yet.
No, we are.
Oh.
I just don't know where it is.
Technical difficulties. What's up, guys? This is DoodleTay. I'm Tay, and today I'm going to doodle for you. Right now I'm going to be working on a Vegeta drawing. This is going to be for a friend's late birthday present. Sorry, Justin. I'm actually pretty far behind on this. So yeah, I guess we're just going to get right into it. Now, I don't know about you guys. I am not a professional by any means. I actually usually only just draw and stuff for my own content, my own inspiration. But I haven't gone to school or anything for this, so don't judge if I'm not using all the techniques that you guys know about, if any of you are artists out there. Thanks, Joe Prime. Woo! First live stream. Alright, I don't really have like a certain technique or way that I go about starting a drawing. It usually just, I pick a spot in the reference photo that I choose and just start going. But I actually didn't pick this reference photo. My friend for his birthday decided to send me what he wanted. So this is a Vegeta from DBZ. I don't know if there's any anime fans out there. But I actually haven't watched really any DBZ. Abridged now. Abridged I have. Global warming. Alright, I think I'm going to start over here on the arm. And when you're doing this though, you don't have to do exactly what your reference photo is. Usually I try to just put my own little unique twists in there when I can. But you don't want to just copy somebody else's work. You want to do your own thing. And I usually don't worry too much when I first start out with lines, things like that. I mean, you can always go back and clean it up. It's a perfect thing about drawing with a pencil versus ink. I don't know how some people do this stuff with ink. I am not the type. Maybe one day. Looks like Vegeta's got some massive traps, so try and get some decent shapes in here.
Trapping me inside, all alone, I can't combat this. Bring me out alive. Bring me out alive. Bring me out alive. Bring me out alive. Bring me out alive.
Yes, I actually am just using your regular number 2 pencil, Joe Prime. I see you there. I actually have some art pencils that I recently got from a buddy of mine, but I haven't bought the specific eraser that you need in order to use them. So for today, we are just going to use a number 2 pencil. Honestly, I'm not that big into buying specific things, I guess. I haven't hit that level where it's necessary. A lot of the drawings, I don't know if anyone's been on my Twitter, that's DoodleTay as well, but I have some pictures there where you can see some of the work that I've done with just a number 2 pencil. On my Kaneki drawing, though, I did add in some red color pencil for some of that, but mainly I just focus with the number 2. But, oh, I'm sorry, Twitter is DoodleTay TV. There you go. So if you guys want to look into that, there are some photos up already. I actually painted my mom a cactus for Mother's Day. That's on there too. Just some fun stuff here and there. I actually think I'm gonna clean up some of these lines already. It's a little difficult when you're doing drawings like this, just because with a sketchbook you can definitely see if things aren't centered. And the reference photo that I have, he's pretty dead center. Again, you don't have to do exactly what your reference photo is, though. You can definitely do your own twist. I might do some of that here. Also, don't be afraid to move your sketchbook here. Try to match your lines up, especially if you're doing something that's kind of symmetrical. Might help you to get those lines more accurate to what you're looking for. Alright, let's see. He's got a massive neck too, it looks like. Slowly but surely you'll see things start to come together. Usually by the end of any drawing session I have, there's a ton of graphite that'll be on the side of my hand. I'm assuming that's because I'm using a number 2 pencil. I feel like probably your more artsy-fartsy stuff won't leave that much residue on your hand. It looks like my buddy's hair might get cut off a little bit, but that's alright. He's got a lot more going on in the face and down below, so. I believe this is actually a specific type of Vegeta. As you can see in the reference photo, he's got a M there in the forehead. Oh, what's up, Eric? Nice to see you, man. We are doodling, that is for sure. But I think this is actually called a Majin Vegeta. I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, I'm not that big of a DBZ fan. So correct me if I'm wrong. Just going in here and cleaning up some more lines. Focus on getting that shape we want. Looks like Apex is coming back. I say abandonment, Eric. Abandonment. You're gonna go play Apex, man. You're gonna abandon me for a video game. Men. Oh, hello, Autumn. How are you? This is my cat, Autumn. She's also very artistic and apparently likes the mic. Usually, she'll just plop a squat right in the middle of what I'm doing, or go after my pencil. It is not your toy, sweet girl. Slide. Thank you. Ah, no. Stay. She does not listen very well. Alright, I'm working down here anyway. Actually, looks like we can get rid of some of these. It is unladylike to clean yourself in front of people. You can't have my pencil, sweet girl. I love you, but no. This is why I never get anything done. This actually is a bit more rounded. This is actually a brand new sketchbook. I ended up taking a look at the reference photo I was going to be doing and realizing that my 11 by I think like 12 or 13 is not big enough for this. So I'm actually looking forward to doing some larger sketches or doodles. We'll see how it comes along. Alright, let's see here. Shockingly enough, a lot of these lines that I have, especially like the tattered edges on his arms for his shirt being destroyed, I will probably go back in and redo. A lot of this is just to place hold, so I can see how everything will come together. But right now it works. Kinda looks like we're getting somewhere. Now I'm a fan actually of blocking out the shaded areas. It's not necessarily like these lines are going to remain just broad lines on here. We'll go back in through the final stages once we get there and start shading them in so it'll pull it all together. I don't know, for sketching for me, a friend actually told me an interesting trick that if you are doing a sketch on a reference photo that is color usually, put a black and white filter over it, and then that way you'll get to see the contrast fully of where those bright whites are and the dark black is. So it's very helpful. Last few times on my reference photos I didn't do that, and it was actually really challenging to get that across, to know where to fully shade in deep and where things can actually just stay white as the sketchbook that you have. So tips and tricks. I'm working on his pectorials now. Man boobs.
Summertime and promoters get sleazy. Summertime corporate bands get greedy. When they play arena shows with $7 bottled waters, a whole week's paycheck to take your son or daughter. Dead Kennedys bought a ticket to see Jello, but he wasn't there, and I was like, hello. Kill the poor punk rock anthem. Then I went to see Sublime, and I was like, damn son. Sublime with Rome is not the same thing as Sublime.
Kitty cat. Let us know.
See the woo, but ODB's son kept missing all the cues. Was Raekwon's mic kept going in and out. When did ripping up the fans become what music was about? A Nirvana reunion, they never would do it because the band was Kurt and everyone knew it. When MCA died, yo, the Beastie Boys said that's it, we're done. Now make some noise, you know.
Sneaky. Autumn. You'll be scolded. Dishonor your family.
Posthumously, half reunited bands are so disappointing. Well, at least their tour t-shirts are reasonably priced.
She got one. jack up some of these tears on the right side. 'Cause I forgot, it's a shirt. Have to guard my pencils or she'll steal them. Oh, what's up, man? Alright, so I'm not so happy with this shoulder over here on the right side. It's just slightly off. It's not as large as the other. So I'm gonna fix it again. But a lot of this doodle or sketching is a lot of trial and error. At least for me, it is. It's not always so easy in the beginning to find exactly where everything's gonna line up. So don't be afraid to kill that eraser. I already have on this one, so I'm using 2 pencils. Hopefully at some point I'll be able to pick up some more. Hello, cat. Hello. She's a very talkative cat. You can't hit the mic, sweetheart. You sit over there. Alright. There you go. She has a tendency to get little paw prints on things. I'm not careful.
Wishing for an answer, hoping one day it'll change, praying for the flesh and the blood to feel them. Have you ever seen the shadow? Have you ever known what they know? Have you ever seen the shadow? And left on the
Alright. I'm gonna call you by your full name the next time you grab that pencil, lady. In hindsight, it's actually probably my fault. I feel like a bad cat mom. Came home from work, I had enough time to eat, and then I started streaming. So she hasn't gotten her playtime in for the day. That will have to wait. But I promise we shall play. Right. Let's see. Alright. Okie dokie. We gotta get this jaw fixed up here. There we go. So I'm not liking how I did his pectorials. I'm gonna raise them up a little bit. Did them a little too low. Let's see how it looks afterwards. There we go. I actually do like that a lot better. That's why they usually say to start off with your trace lines very light. I have a bad habit of just drawing as hard as I can, apparently. So, a good hour after I finish completing a sketch is usually just going back in and erasing as hard as I can some of those lines.
You just tell me where the fucking letter was.
I am who I say I am.
know if you guys are noticing, but I put little squiggle marks, just a reference for myself to know that that's where I'm going to be shading in spaces that I've blocked out. I mean, you can use your own little mark or even just start shading in, I guess, now, but until things are kind of already fully on the page, I don't like to shade until I hit that stage. And the best part about sketching or doodling, essentially using a pencil, is that if you don't like something, you simply erase it and start over. Like I said, I really mean a lot of trial and error when it comes to this stuff. Obviously that's going to be a little shaded area. Ah, it's already beginning. The lead spread. It's like a disease.
He doesn't see me. He's standing right next to me and he doesn't see. Oh, now he saw me. Holy shit. Right, like I could have just looked at you and still went to the best one. I can see.
Well, hello. On top of my drawing. Okay. Excuse me, ma'am. Hello? Ah, Sabenya. She doesn't like that. His ears may look a little funny right now, but again, they're just placeholders at this point, so... Hello, Wildcat! Scared the crap out of me. This one needs to come up just a little bit more. Hello. Not a toy. Oh, that's not the right one. No! There you go.
Oh, yeah. There he is. That's my guy.
Alright. Now we're gonna move on to the face, I think. This is probably going to be the trickiest part just because of, again, how symmetrical it is. Trying to get this to line up the way I want it to. Let's see. Okay. I feel like even in the limited amount of episodes I've seen of Vegeta, he's constantly got this smirk, like this shit-eating grin on his face. It's probably because he believes he's the most powerful, I'm assuming. Or he's just full of himself. But, aren't we all? not what I'm going for, but it'll do for now, and just holding the place where his mouth is gonna be. Divot here in the chin.
Somebody's already been through the small town.
Actually. Thanks, Saf. I'm trying. If you go up to the, I believe the top of my icon, you should be able to subscribe at the top of the page. It should give you the option to subscribe. I don't think it'll ring a bell. I'm actually not 100% sure. But it should just have a giant red subscribe button. Yeah. No, I'm so proud of you. You figured it out. Would you leave a comment and let other people know how to do it too? I appreciate you subscribing. Well, I don't know if I'm teaching anyone how to draw here, but certainly at least allowing some people to feel more comfortable trying it. That's what I'm going for. What's up, Dev? SPF. We're getting there, slowly but surely. This is definitely a challenging piece. Thank you, Justin, for the horrible reference photo. I'm kidding. But yeah. He's got some angry brows. That's what I'm trying to get in here. Some angry brows. But I think I'm going to have to lift them up a little bit more. Really set in his menacing look. Yeah, I did. I actually posted some pictures of Meliodas and Kaneki that I drew. That's all on my Twitter. It's a DoodleTay TV. So if you have a Twitter, follow me there. Otherwise, definitely subscribe here. But yes, no, a lot of the stuff that I've done so far is on there. I actually haven't shared that many paintings that I've done, so maybe that'll be my next post. I'll put some more of the paintings up that I've drawn or that I've done. I've done some cell shading. It's a different style of painting. Those are pretty fun. Might do a video of that on here. I think a lot of people would be interested in that. But yeah, check out the Twitter, and you shall see. That's what's missing. I love the fact that you guys hung up that Meliodas drawing I did for Dev. That's perfect. Warms my heart. Anything for the SBF. I'll make you one soon, Saf, I promise. Maybe a Goofy or something like that. We'll see. I'll have to test my skills if I do something along those lines. This is definitely testing my skills. This is probably the biggest anime character that I've attempted to draw or recreate. So we'll see how this goes. I'm trying my best. We'll see. Like I said, it's hard to tell right now, especially in the beginning stages of a drawing, how it's gonna turn out. But I don't know. I got my hopes up on this one. Deku. Oh, that's definitely up there, Dev. I gotta draw Deku. You're absolutely correct. I think the trouble with him is gonna be just minimizing, or I guess sorting through and finding like a top 3 to choose from. Or maybe I'll just do a whole like month-long thing where I just draw Deku. We'll see. But definitely with him and his like glowing all for one, that'd be very sick. I have a few characters that I haven't drawn yet that I'd like to attempt to. But this one's first. I gotta finish birthday presents first. Poor Justin's been waiting so long for this. It will be worth it, Saf. It will be worth it. You're absolutely correct. Hello, Autumn. She's very upset with me right now. I have not played with her yet today. I haven't had a chance. And so every opportunity she gets, she's been interrupting me. Trying to catch my attention. And, oh, wait, there it is. Yep. Plop. You are Plop from The Office. Yes, it will be kitty time after I finish streaming. She's gonna get all the toys. It's probably the most challenging part is getting these two eyes to line up and look nice. This is true. Vegeta, I feel, is definitely perpetually pissed off. He's just that snarky god complex. But it's also very entertaining. I feel like we all have a little narcissist in ourselves. He just shows his willingly and freely. There we go. It's getting there. I actually did a Beerus painting a while back for a friend. That was pretty cool. See if I have a picture of that and I'll end up posting it. But no, you're probably right. I haven't watched too much DBZ. At least, like I said, I've watched a lot of the abridged. I haven't watched any of the actual show itself. Other than just like random bits on TV or whatever. But Vegeta is usually mad all the time. At least a lot of the episodes I see him. And yes, it's usually because he's trying to beat Goku, and Goku's just OP as hell. So. Because I actually think I saw a post on Facebook where it was something about who would win in a fight, One Punch Man or Goku. And I don't know about that one. I'd have to say it'd probably be One Punch Man. But that's just my opinion. You're right. You're right. Although I haven't watched any of season 2 of One Punch Man, so I don't know. I'm curious to see how that got played out. I heard that the publishing got bought out. It's a whole new different, I don't know, animation studio that released it. So we'll see if it still lives up to its glory. Yo, yo, yo! Are you a yo-yo, Eric? Or are you just bouncing with joy from my doodles? Looks kind of freaky with no like pupils inside of his eyes right now. It's kind of weird. I'm on top of it, but you guys are seeing a different angle of this, so I wonder how it does come across to you. I hope it's amazing. It's a birthday present, after all. Kind of crappy if it wasn't. Right. Puns are my favorite thing on this planet. I may not always make them, but I definitely laugh at any that are said. That's kind of how all my drawings start off, is a little bit of like a skeleton, I guess it's the best word for it. But a lot of this, if you could see the reference photo on my computer, it's gonna be shaded. It's a lot darker than just the white sketch pad. So a lot of this I have to put the solid lines out first, and then I'll go back in and shade everything and put all those details in. So usually the last day that I'm working on something is when it all comes together finally. Even then I might still fix things or change positions, certain areas, just depends. But for the most part, kind of like where this one's going. That's kind of what this whole live stream thing is supposed to be for, is getting to see the progress I make from start to finish. I can definitely tell with the more that I'm doing these types of drawings, I feel like I'm learning more and I'm getting better. So that's always cool, especially since this is something I just enjoy doing for me. If it happens that other people get to enjoy and watch along and partake in the process in a way, that's even more fulfilling, I think. So thank you for joining me. All the love, all the love. Thank you. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. I've never seen someone with a hairline as fierce. Talk about a widow's peak. Just saying. Let's fix this up. His head just looks very weirdly shaped. So close. And I fear I might be hitting the point where I run out of both erasers. So, this might get difficult. We shall see. absolutely correct. It's kind of scary, actually. I rely very heavily on my erasers. You would think hair would probably be like the easiest thing to draw, and to be honest with you, it's really not. Like Meliodas' hair on Devin's drawing I did, that alone took me like 3 hours. It was very challenging. Vegeta's hair, on the other hand, well, I don't know how long this is gonna take me. Yeah, especially this one, Vegeta's shading on his hair is going to be very tricky. He's got a lot of individual, like, solid lines. Well, I was up for the challenge, so I'm not backing out of it now.
Oh, fuck, he just landed that grenade right next to me. My god. Up in the tree. Fuck, I'm down. Dude, there's like 5 guys over there. Now they're fighting each other. Oh my god.
first you don't succeed, try again. That is all that's going on in my head here. So I can't get this side to line up the way I want it to for his hair. But that won't stop us. Let's see, hold up.
What the fuck? Good job, man. He's behind you. He's turn around and not shoot the guy in front of you.
That's exactly why we're friends. Well, alright. So, not failing, but my thing is if I can't get something right the first few times I try it, I just move on to a different area and I will come back to it. Because it's just not meant to happen right this second. So, we will work on the forehead a little bit. Seems pretty solid placement where it's at right now, so. Yeah, looks alright. Down just a little bit. Excuse me. I definitely recommend that when painting. If something's just not working out, a lot of the times, if you try to keep touching over it or something like that, you're going to end up putting too much paint on your canvas, and then it just turns into a mess. So I highly recommend just either letting it dry and just doing something else for a little bit, or moving on to a different section or a different area of that, and then come back to it. Because a lot of the times it's just, I know, for me, I literally just can't do it right now. I'm too focused on trying to do what I want to do and not paying attention to it. So I'm gonna look at something else and come back to that, and hopefully his hair turns out just fine. And your paintings turn out just fine. Although from what I've seen, they look pretty great, so I would definitely recommend keep doing that. I like the the me time that comes with doing anything kind of artsy. It's not about really even what you're gonna produce. It's more or less just sitting down and having some time to yourself, and I don't know. It's a nice way to get your brain to shut off. Just focus on something else. Listen to some music and relax. It's usually what I do. Yes, gotta gain that personal experience. It's the only way you learn, only way you grow. I see. These are. Definitely a little bit more rounded. Can you see Vegeta now? I was hoping he would come through soon at some point. You guys just didn't see some weird, disproportionate figure on my sketchpad. So.
No, hey,
definitely gotten to the end of my eraser here. Thank you, I appreciate that. I'm hoping the more I get some of these little tiny details in that you guys can see, it'll pull it together a bit more. But definitely when I get to the shading part, I think you guys will be a little bit more impressed by what's on here. So, oh, there it is. There's the lead. It's begun. Just means I'm putting in a good day's work. Well, I mean, I guess that's kind of true, because to be honest with you, any medium that I'm using, whether it be painting or drawing or whatever, I tend to always have either flecks of paint everywhere. Actually, my laptop is now covered in little bits of paint because my easel is right here on the side, so yeah, that tends to happen a lot. You get a mess everywhere, especially all over your hands and your clothes. So if you're painting, I definitely don't recommend wearing anything cute. It probably will get ruined. At least white. I know you with white. I know myself with white. I don't know how anybody else out there is with white. Don't do it. You will regret it. I'm gonna attempt to do this M that's on the middle of his forehead. It's a little tricky, but so has everything else been with this drawing. So I guess it's not much of a difference. Methods that I have when drawing. I guess, I don't know, it's kind of hard to say. I don't know what would classify as methods, to be honest with you. I just kind of sit down and I just start going to town. I just usually start picking an area that I feel comfortable in, something that you can kind of proportion out, depending on what you're working on, if it's something symmetrical or whatnot. But start portioning out your areas. On this one, I am a little upset. I wish I kind of would have dropped down his shoulders a little bit more to get some of that hair in, just because that is a classic Vegeta look. But we're also doing a specific type of Vegeta, which is the, I think it's Majin or something like that. But this M on the front of his forehead is very in particular, or important, I should say. So, I don't know. I guess methods-wise, I would say I'm horrible at this, so I can't really, kind of like the pot calling the kettle black. Do light lines if you're drawing, or even if you're like working on a canvas and you're, putting your spaces in for where you're going to paint certain things. Do really, really light lines, almost very faint to the point where you can't really see them, just because, especially on canvases for painting, the last like cactus one that I did for my mom, It's very difficult to hide those lines with paint. You would either need to just completely erase them, which defeats the point of even putting it on the canvas, or layering enough paint over it to hopefully hide it. And the only way you're going to do that, though, is if you do very faint lines. Even just a regular, pressure on the canvas, just drawing a regular line on it is going to be too dark. Now, for sketching, unless, like I said, you got more erasers than I do, try to draw faint lines as well. That's more or less just because a lot of it you're going to change, you're going to reshape. You really are just focusing on marking enough of your... and my cat ran off with my pencil. Marking enough of the spaces so that you can see where everything's going to come together at. So I guess the only thing I would take away from this one is that I didn't drop him down far enough to just have his hair be another focal point of the drawing. But other than that, I don't know. I would say get your head in the right space. Don't try to do something if you're not in a mood to do it. At least that's how I feel, because I never end up liking anything that I create when I'm in that kind of a mood, if I'm forcing myself. And I mean, it's okay to kind of start doing something and then move on to something else. Like if I started this drawing and I wasn't feeling it, I might have even just switched and did something different, like Deku or a different character. Those are kind of the methods that I would say for now to try to follow. Maybe the more that I do this and the more that I explore, I can share more knowledge, give better advice. But for right now, that's kind of it. I would say maybe have extra supplies on hand so you don't run out of things like I did. I also just completely lost my pencil. My cat is gone. So, pause. I'm gonna go get... Alright, and I have successfully retrieved my pencil. So, I don't know, does anyone else have any methods or know of anything that works for them when they're drawing or painting or getting artsy? I'm excited too. This should be an interesting journey. I'm probably going to try to do this on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. All streams should be on at 7 p.m. Eastern, and then probably lasting till about 10 o'clock is kind of what I'm going for. There might be some nights where I might have to cut that a little short. It just depends. But for right now, it's going to be Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays at 7 p.m. is when it'll be starting. So, yay for stream! It's coming together a little bit more now. At least his face is coming together a little bit more to me. I highly recommend it, man. Get in the mood. I mean, you don't have to do exactly what I'm doing as far as your sketch or your doodle, but I mean, you could certainly pick another DBZ character or something that you're interested in drawing and just maybe try to use some of the techniques or things that you see that I do. Might help you. I'm not sure, but it's always worth a try. Or if you figure something out, drop a comment so I know. And I get to learn too. Yes, angry brows. That is all Vegeta has, is angry brows. I think this particular Vegeta that I'm doing too is supposed to be like a more evil or a more badass, I think, version. So it makes sense that he would have ridiculously evil brows. Yes. Art time with DoodleTay. That's what we're going for here. You know, and even if I get to accomplish something like that where everyone starts taking some time for themselves and sketching or doodling, that's great. I think everyone deserves to have some relaxation like that. Or just explore your own, you know, techniques or skills. You could become the next Picasso. Who knows? Oh, hello. Are you here to steal my pencil again? She's giving me the playful eyes. Yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I actually have no control over my music right now, but I have also been enjoying what's been playing so far. Ah, see? You don't love me. You only want me for my pencils. Be gone. I'm kidding. I love you. Don't hate me. She's obsessed with pencils, man. She must have some kind of like old artist spirit in her or something. I don't know. It would make sense. She likes to sit on my sketchbook when I'm in the living room too. Just right on top of everything. Right in the way. That's okay. I still love her. Maybe she is Picasso. What's up, Archer? Hi! Nice of you to join us. But no, yeah, she might actually be Picasso. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. You know, if I come downstairs and she's got a new painting up here on the easel and going to town, I'm gonna be a little concerned, but also like really intrigued. So we'll see. Alright, Vegeta. Let's see. He's got some more details going on the forehead, so I think I'm gonna go there next. Well, kind of already been there, but more or less in the forehead and not so much on the M. Thank you, I appreciate that. I was hoping it was coming together pretty nicely. We'll see. We're not done yet. Hopefully the cat's paw prints don't go right on the face. That would suck. Oh, the painting? Oh, well, yeah, that's actually done. That's been done for a little bit. I do enjoy painting though too, so stay tuned. Maybe next week we'll do some painting. Or even this Friday or Saturday, who knows? Hi, cat. Back at it again to steal my pencils! This is just gonna be a thing with her, guys, so I apologize. Thank you, Eric. Yes, the painting is lovely. Yes. I appreciate that. Kitty! Yeah, it's Attack of the Kitty all night tonight. Like I said, she's upset. I haven't had a chance to play with her. I got home at 8 and I started streaming, so she's not too happy with me. But I will make it up to her after this. And her name is Autumn, in case you didn't know. All these veins popping out everywhere. You know, is Vegeta on steroids? Can we confirm? Is there a steroid equivalent for Saiyans? I mean, maybe. I don't know. Like, I don't follow DBZ very closely. I mean, I know enough knowledge to understand the show, I guess, but I don't know. I feel like if there was like a steroid equivalent to a Saiyan, he has taken it. At least I can confirm that much. Although, is there ever a cap to Saiyan's power? Because I feel like it just keeps going. There's just another level they break through, at least for Goku. That's why he's always so angry. My poor eraser. I'm gonna have to get some more pencils, guys. Alright, well, some of those lines I'd like to clean up, but like I said, I have no eraser, so next time. And to me right now, he kind of looks more like an alien with all these veins popping out of his head. Yeah, I know. I meant not like similar to the alien of the reference photo, I guess. He doesn't look like what I'm hoping for. So I'm going to go back in and I'm going to fix this. I think what I need to do is drop these veins on his forehead down a little bit more. That are popping out of his forehead a little bit more, I should say. And give it a more intense look. And actually achieve what I'm going for. He's raging out, you know what I mean? Get that expression in there. I feel like that's one method, I guess, I'd pay attention to, is sometimes your lines, like it could just be this simple like curve of a line that changes something, especially like on the face expressions. Like it takes me forever most of the time to get to eyes. I'm actually still not 100% happy with these ones, so I'll probably end up redoing them. But I don't know, just certain things like that I would look out for. Or if you find yourself going back over something, finally erase it and don't follow your trace line. Do a new line and see how that shape, you know, turns out. So, some things to consider. Yes. So that yeah, what I usually do sometimes, I try drawing a few light trace lines, especially if I'm doing like a curve like the hair or something like that. And then when I find one that I like is when I go a little bit darker to make that line stick out, and then you go back and erase those other trace lines. But yeah, the big thing is to try to draw light initially for any lines you're first putting down. A lot of your details, things like that, like especially right here on the eyebrows and the M, I know that that's definitely where I wanted it, so I did it darker than say like some of these hair lines or his arms and things down here. A lot of this is probably going to get reworked. A lot of this has detail still in there that I'm going to have to shade in, so there's no point technically, or at least to me right now, in going in and doing it. What I'll probably do is map out some of the obvious lines and then go in and just do the layers of tracing. Hello, Autumn! You are back yet again. Yes. Yes. But yeah, so that's what I would recommend doing. I think that works best, and it tends to... On the face! I knew it. You can't help yourself. Thank you, my dear. Stay over there. uh, But yeah, like right now, I kind of went a little too hard, for example, on the vein on the top of his forehead here. So I'm gonna go back and erase all that and redo it. Alright, I can't, cat, I can't do this with you. I love you, but no, you can't have my pencils. Oh, and you are welcome. Try my best to answer questions. Alright, okay. It's coming together a little bit more. I like that better. And one thing that helps me too sometimes is if I look at the reference photo or whatever I'm attempting to recreate or draw, I look for certain lines that line up with other shapes. Like on Vegeta's face here for shading, there's going to be an area in the center of his face. I'm assuming it's because of the top of his hair. Would technically cast a shadow on that part of his face. So that centerpiece where I have this little faint line is going to be shaded in very lightly. But it also lines up, if you look, towards the edge of the outer rim of his pupil on the inside of his eye. So I'm going to try to use that as my reference point to get that pupil, or the eyeball, I guess, exactly where I want it. So hopefully we can continue to capture that expression he has, of that smirk, that all-powerful smirk. He's got another line coming down from under his eye here for shading. The shape kind of dips in over his cheek a little bit and comes back down, so. I'm actually gonna curve the base of his eye a little bit more. You can totally go do this by yourself. I don't think there's anything holding you back from that. I think it's just gonna take more practice and just trying things out. I mean, you don't know what you're gonna enjoy doing. You might not even like doing like an anime character or something like that, but who knows? Maybe you're good at drawing animals or portraits or landscapes or really anything. I'm actually interested in trying to draw some animals. I think some like photorealism sketches of an animal would be really cool to attempt. That's completely out of my element, I would say, right now. I haven't tried that before. But these are just some more methods that I'm thinking of as I'm going to offer. Yeah, that looks a lot better. And I think we're still capturing that angry smirk, which is exactly what we want. Yeah. Okay. Now part of this I think is going to be a little bit tricky is like the scrunch that he has in his nose and between his eyes on like the bridge. Which, let's see if I can zoom in a little bit more on that. There we go. It's very dark, a lot of that shading, so it's gonna look a little weird I think right now, until I actually get to that point. But it's not too bad. I think what I'm gonna start doing is maybe just working on some of the like scratch lines that he has almost. It looks like he's already been in battle so far. Who knows who he was fighting? I don't. Maybe you do. If so, drop a comment. Let me know. But yeah, it looks interesting. I'm going to try and get some more of those little details in first. And then we'll see what I have time for. And for this, all I'm doing is just some like lighter, just straight lines, and then coming in and darkening some of them. So it looks like he got scratched. Or maybe it's dirt on him, I'm not sure, but it looks pretty cool. And it actually looks like, I mean, like I said, I put this under a like a grayscale or a black and white like filter for this colored image. So it actually looks like on his chin he has blood dribbling down, which seems pretty dope. And I would assume common probably with Vegeta. Usually the assholes get beaten up more, but. So I think down here on his chest, that's a drop of the blood. Either maybe it's its own little scratch or it came from the top of his mouth. So I like it. I like the little details. We're gonna put that in there. And hopefully it doesn't look like you just drew a turd on him, because that's what I felt that looked like. There we go. Thanks, Joe. Some of the details are coming together. There's still a lot to do, mainly in his shirt. His shirt, I think, is going to be one of the hardest challenges of this entire piece. I think that's probably going to take the most amount of my time. It's just, there's a lot of detail in there. It doesn't look like it, but stuff like that on his shirt would take me probably about an entire live stream to try to do. So maybe that'll be on Saturday. I could see probably getting there by Saturday. We're actually moving along pretty good. I'm surprised at how much I already have placed out and starting to work on some of the details for. So this is exciting. Hopefully poor Justin gets his birthday present by the end of this week. Or the end of this weekend, I should say. Okay. So I think I pretty much like the shape right now of like where his chest and the veins of his neck are at. So I think I'm gonna go in and darken some of those and shade in some of the blocked areas that I have, just to kind of help me see it come together a little bit more too. And then that way you can go in and pick where you want to put some of the little details in. Like I said, you don't have to follow your reference photo or whatever you're using to the T. This is supposed to be what you are creating. So put your own little unique spin on it. Usually I like to pick my reference photos by watching an anime, or I don't like to usually Google and find something that's already been created. I think it's better to actually go through and like watch an episode and maybe pause it on a certain scene that you enjoy or a certain effect is happening to your character, and that's what you want to capture and that's what you want to draw. Because you can just pause it and take a picture of it on your phone and boom, like just start drawing. I think that's a fun way to find some inspiration too. You don't always have to just be looking for something. It can kind of happen to you in a sense. So that's kind of what happened with me when I drew Meliodas from Seven Deadly Sins. If anyone's watched that anime, it's pretty good. It's a Netflix original. I highly recommend. And that one turned out fairly cool. Like I said, check out my Twitter, DoodleTay TV. You can see the picture there for that. But other than that, even a Kaneki drawing that I drew from Tokyo Ghoul, that was a picture I had taken off of the anime itself and decided to attempt to recreate. And a lot of those turned out pretty good, so we'll see. We'll see how this one turns out. So far, so good. The next Bob Ross? Is that what that was, Devin? And then, because happy trees. Maybe I'll do that one next. I actually did start a landscape painting, which was my first ever attempt at a landscape. When I was watching the Bob Ross series that's on Netflix, he has some like painting with him kind of things. I know, it's hilarious. I attempted it. But I think I actually have it over here. If you guys want to take a peek. It's not finished, so don't judge me. But yeah, man, painting's fun too. That's what I got so far. We'll get there. I am a procrastinator at heart. I can't help it. I am working on it though. That's the important thing. So I have a lot of paintings actually that aren't finished yet. So maybe with the live streams we'll get there. You guys can give me your advice along the way. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I would love to finish that one. I think it's come along nice. I think my favorite part of the painting, that landscape one, is the sun. I really love space and stuff, so maybe doing a full painting where I can do shadings like that for planets would be interesting. See it all come together. And hang that on your wall right now, huh? Well, maybe when I finish it. Maybe when I finish it, you can have it. We'll see. See, the really cool thing though, once you go in and you do your trace lines, and you go in to start darkening some of the positions that you know you're going to keep that you want, it really pulls the whole look together, especially when you're going to go in and do that shading. I like the just the contrast. That's what I really enjoy about the sketches. I feel like it's so easier to see it on this than say like a painting. Painting is fun. I have nothing against it, but I don't think I could get this kind of detail how I'd like it painting. At least I haven't honed my skills enough for that. So we'll stick to drawing for now for this. I haven't tried using any of the actual, like, I don't know, lead like art pencils that you're supposed to use for this kind of stuff, but I will say I definitely like just how easy it is to kind of change the pressure with a number 2 pencil for your shading style. It's literally just a matter of lifting the pencil up enough and just doing just lighter, fine strokes. In the center of his like chest area, that shading is not nearly as dark as some of the shading that's in his shirt. So that's how you're going to get your contrast too, is how hard you're pushing down and how much of the lead itself that you're blending together. That's also why you have so much runoff on your hand, because it doesn't really hold that well onto the paper unless you're pushing down on it so hard like these lines I just did. So. And what's really cool too is that you can take your finger if you wanted to, I guess another method, and run over the lead to kind of blend it more if you don't want to see so much of your lines and your strokes. It's a great way to kind of, I don't know, make it softer, make it appear like it's a more natural shaded area. Now what I'd recommend when you're shading though is definitely go light as you want first. Always remember that you can go in and go darker. It's a lot harder though to clean up shading when you've already gone too dark from the jump. So I recommend just going pretty light and then do as you see fit. If you need to darken it up, just go over a little bit, a little bit more with some more pressure. But definitely recommend going in light first. Aw, and thanks, Boo. I love you. I appreciate you for watching and sticking around, and I hope it helps along your journey of discovery with your art. I think it's great that you're diving in.
turns out we know that we could cross divides, so we must dissolve the ties. She starts to cry. I'm sorry, I'm
And when I'm shading, I like to usually just stick with one direction. And it usually comes out a lot smoother if you do. If you start going back and forth over areas instead of just continuing one downward motion, it comes out more rough. You can definitely see it's not as smooth versus keeping everything going in one direction. Tends to keep it lighter. It tends to keep it, I don't know, cohesive. At least that's my opinion. It works for me, and what works for me may not work for you, but that's okay. Now, I did do his neck pretty light, and that actually is probably going to get shaded in a lot darker. A lot of these areas that I'm shading in right now are probably going to get shaded in a lot darker. But like I said, it's easier to go in first, shade in your areas lightly, and then to develop that contrast more as you bring your piece along. Go back over and go in a little bit rougher or a little bit darker on those areas. It's actually one of the reasons why I use these particular number 2 pencils is that you can draw out how much lead. Obviously you can with a regular, mechanical pencil. But like these, I don't know, I feel like I have a little bit more control because I can get it exactly to where I want. And especially for shading, because if you break the end of your lead like I just did, you'll be able to see the edges a little bit better when you're shading down. I don't know, I just prefer these. I feel like it's a smoother grip. And the erasers are really nice on these too. I don't know about all number 2 pencils, but this is what I prefer. I might actually have to switch over. There we go. Alright. It's getting there. Now I know I said when you're shading to try to stick with one downward area, but when it comes to like curves of lines or like weird shapes that you're filling in, I try to follow the outside lines first and then shade up into the direction that it's supposed to be flowing. So for like example right here on his neck, these kind of curve around, so I'm going to draw my lines round instead of just straight down, except for when I'm over here. Down here I'm going to kind of get a little straight in the beginning in the corner and then start curving the way this is shaping around his neck right here. And it kind of fills it in a little bit better, and I think it doesn't look as, it looks more blended than if you were trying to go back and forth over the area. And you kind of want that smoothness. Alrighty. Just going through and adding some more of those little details where I see fit. Yeah, supposed like scratches or like roughed up marks from his battle with whoever he was fighting. I'm just gonna start mapping out some more on his forehead of the areas that are gonna get shaded in. Now, some of these lines might share each other, so what I do again is the shaded line I do very, very light, and then the main lines, like some of these in his forehead, are actually there. I'm gonna do a little bit darker so I can tell the difference, so when I go back into shade next time, I know where it ends, where it starts, how much to fill in, blah 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 blah. And then what I'm gonna do is put my little squiggles in here, and that's my little telltale sign to fill in those areas. But I'd recommend before you shade in though, erase those squiggles out, because you will see that shape underneath the shading depending on how light you're going. So keep that in mind. Looks like I missed a detail with these M's. The M's actually kind of come up off their spot and shape. Adds a little hint to his evilness, I think.
Rusted turnstiles, we persevere. The wheels of conflict still move and turn. The day the world died, nothing was learned. And the future's a tunnel stretching endlessly.
Alright, well. It's got more contrasting areas in the center of his neck. And usually what I do is I set one tone to be just a faint, like the sketch pad white. And then for the lighter levels, I'll do like a lighter shade and then going darker and darker to whatever I choose. But the only thing is, if you choose to keep your sketch pad as like the white in the picture, by the time you're done getting all that lead off your hand, you're gonna have already swiped that all over your page. So definitely invest in some erasers just to clean it up. Usually the last thing that I do to a sketch before I even put it in like a frame or anything is take an eraser and just hit all of those light areas and clean them up, because it makes that contrast pop so much. It's definitely worth it. But at that point, you're probably already sick of this drawing and you want to work on something else, so I get it.
The day the world died, nothing was learned.
Where am I going?
Alright. It looks like I'm actually gonna have to drop his nose down a little bit more. And focus. Getting more of those details in right here where he scrunches. But the bridge of his nose actually starts about here. Bring this back out. And this can kind of get shaded in right now. And you can make this line darker. Cheetah has a very tiny mouth, and it's very difficult to draw. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's quite aggravating. And it's almost like right under his nose with this kind of expression that he has, so. This is probably going to be the last part of him that I work on tonight. Just because, as you guys could tell through this stream, my cat is very upset with me and would like me to play with her. Yes, I am a grandma and I play with my cat. So, it's looking a little bit better. And then this will also give us room to put in his divot in his chin down here. I'm gonna mark that area with like a little plus sign so I know that goes there. And like I said, I just kind of mark my shading areas with my squiggles. Keep that in the memory bank for next time. Let's see. Clean up some of that. think that's all we got for today. But it's a good start. Got some details in there. I think next time I'm going to try to finish out the rest of his hair and then get working on that shirt because it's going to take me a while. But I hope you guys enjoy the first live stream of DoodleTay. If you'd like, check back in again on, let's see, today's Thursday, so it would be Saturday. See if we can get any further on this picture. But it was fun. Thank you guys. If you liked the video, hit like, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter, DoodleTay TV. Thanks.